So what we've got again is, you can see on the back side of this, it's going to be right in this vicinity of the supercell itself that we would see the possible tornado. And you see that little notch west of Luling? That's a definite indication on reflectivity of rotation. What we can take a look at is what's called the debris tracker. Now, when you look at the debris tracker, this will show you exactly where rain and even non-rain is falling. And as we look at, you can see all the red, and if you look at the upper left-hand corner, that's your legend. So that's definitely all liquid. What you want to try to find is a pocket within that red that is not red, okay, and is more blue. And embedded there, you can see just north of Highway 90. That's going to be a spot that we have to watch closely. As a matter of fact, it's right in, see this right here? This spot right there. That's what I'm worried about as possibly being a little bit of debris. Meteorologist Paul Mirales on the western side of this monster supercell. And Paul, you said earlier you saw a funnel cloud, but we didn't get a full vortex, definitely.
No, it did not. And you know, Bill, we're on I-10. We're east of Seguin at the rest area. You may have stopped here before, and we are looking towards the east. And this thunderstorm, of course, is racing down I-10, going at about 40 miles an hour. And we're not going to play the game of trying to catch up with it. So this is probably about as close as we're going to get. But we were right up on there, and it looked like it had a funnel cloud, and it did have a funnel cloud, but didn't produce a tornado. But the thunderstorm continues to move in that direction. You know, when we were coming from New Braunfels, we could have cut across Seguin and maybe gotten in front of this storm, but this is one of these storms you just don't want to do that. Real messy, don't want to do that, so we kind of came behind, and that's why we're playing catch up on this, but we're not going to catch up to this thunderstorm. But anyway, this is what it looks like. This is the worn cell. I would say the rotation's probably about 7 miles down the road, and this is what it looks like just outside of Seguin out here this evening. I did talk to somebody here that was at this rust stop, and they said it got really rough here as that thunderstorm pushed through. So we're going to send it back to Ryan Shoptaw. Ryan, what are you looking at right now?
Yeah, Paul, so anywhere east of 35 for the next 12 hours or so, these storms are going to enter a more conducive environment. So this is a big takeaway. If you're traveling down I-10 towards Houston and towards College Station in the next several hours, these storms are not going to only continue but strengthen and amplify in duration and towards I-35 and towards I-45 as well, towards College Station. So biggest threats for San Antonio have already left, but if you are traveling north of Gonzales, here's the bullseye spot east of Austin and in this triangle between I-10, I-35 and I-45 where hail could be produced in these updrafts upwards of a quarter to golf ball size hail. So this is where the bullseye is going to be for late tonight through tomorrow morning, and that's towards Houston, towards East Texas. Now I do want to highlight the difference between a watch and a warning. A watch is when we're watching out for the potential for storm development. A warning is different. That's when heavy rain and severe weather is moving into a specific area. For example, like the storms we saw earlier near Seguin and near northern Bexar County. Matter of fact, Bill's going to talk more about this right here. A tornado warning east of Seguin along the 183 corridor between there and Austin and east of 35. Bill?
Yeah, thanks, Ryan. In fact, we've got about 12 more minutes on that tornado warning. Again, heading towards areas well east of San Antonio and moving northeast at about 40 miles an hour. But let me just show you also what is south of that and now just starting to fire up along the dry line. New thunderstorms that could turn dangerous quickly south of Pleasanton and over top of Floresville. See those brand new storms firing right along the dry line, because what's happening is once this dry line encounters more convergence of good moisture, that's where those thunderstorms are going to begin to erupt. And see, along a dry line, unlike a cold front, dry line storms fire up and get dangerous a lot faster. And so let's go in here. South of Pleasanton, nothing severe over Campbellton, nothing severe over even areas of Three Rivers. But as this system is moving east and again encounters more and more moisture convergence, that's when you're going to start to see some of these storms strengthen fast. And again, along a dry line, it could be a matter of 5 to 10 minutes and you have a severe thunderstorm. Any one of these storms near Floresville, south to Tilden, could go severe at any minute. So we're going to have to watch those very closely as they head towards communities like Kennedy, towards Victoria, towards Cuero, and even Gonzales. Now, Gonzales County is part of this tornado warning, but it's going to be Walder, which is an extreme northeastern Gonzales County, that's really going to be the one that we watch closely. So as I get this into a stopped motion and see that there's no definitive hook echo or real good notch formed where we would expect to see the tornado form. And as Paul just mentioned, you would have seen it on that live video feed as far as what we're looking for and a real tornado on the ground. Now, if I do a slice on this, a 3D slice to give you an idea of just what kind of thunderstorm height we're talking about, well, you can tell that it's in excess of 30,000 feet and pushing towards 40,000. Now, I look at this mainly for hail size. Okay, because the higher the storm is and the more updraft you have, then the more potential for larger hail. And this storm not pushing 40 or 50,000 feet, that's why this hail now staying right around golf ball size. Chopper 5 is in the air, and can you again confirm that location? Southeast of San Antonio. And so we're looking at those storms I just showed you, the newest ones, not the one over Luling, but the storms that are firing near Stockdale, down towards Campbellton and Tilden, and you can see how they're lining up right along. That's the dry line. You're looking at the dry line in the middle atmosphere here of the troposphere, and that's exactly where those storms are going to fire, where that convergence takes place. And again, these storms ramp up so fast that we have to keep a very close eye on them heading through the evening hours, because we still have some pretty good heating out there. That's another big indication as to whether or not you're going to see severe weather, and that's one of the things that we did not get a whole lot of in San Antonio, but off to the east they definitely had some real significant sunshine this afternoon.